So you want DLC. Who needs it when you have DIY DLC? This will be the first in a series of videos I plan to release where I'll teach you how to do something that should be a lot of fun. Today we are working on Zelda Escape. Zelda Escape is the act of leaving the final cutscene before catching Zelda. This can create world-changing scenarios like normal arm link and Zelda chasing you everywhere. It's important to note that none of these states are permanent, and if you ever want to undo the state, you can just close out of the game and open it back up. The method we will describe today works on all versions of the game. The progress of the file you intend to use only needs to have completed the Great Sky Island, though it's a lot easier if the file is complete so you don't need to fight the boss rush before Ganondorf. The difficulty of setting this up on a scale of 0 to 10, I would say this would be a 1. It's pretty easy to do. This setup requires no glitches, but if you are on 1.0 to 1.1.1, you can use a ZLOT Method, which I will not be going over, but if you would like to see that method and a great explanation of Zelda Escape, you can watch this video from PeakTOTK. Before we start, there's a list of items you'll need. Some of them are optional, but I would just get them all. You'll need the paraglider, 6 to 10 hover stones, batteries, dragon part, fairies, bow and arrows, stamina food that gives you bonus stamina, and 1 small zonai charge. We will start by double checking that you've completed the North Hyrule Dive Challenge at least 1 time. If you haven't, the best way to get there is the Typhlo Ruins Skyview Tower, gliding over to this construct and taking his offer to start the challenge. You will need to activate the terminal and complete the challenge. After that, we need to get to the Demon Dragon fight. Once you're here, I prefer taking out all 4 weak spots before we move to set up. Look on your map for this little lake. Place a marker right about here. The location isn't extremely important as long as it's within this square. Now get Zelda to fly you up to the top, and once you're there, glide over to the lake. We need to stay somewhat high for now. Basically, as long as we are higher than the Demon Dragon, we are good. As you get closer, make sure you don't go too far as there's a wall that will put you back on Zelda. Now, we probably need to lose a little bit of height. I find that 2000 is a good place to land. Pump your paraglider until you reach about 2000. Once you are here, fuse a hoverstone to an arrow and shoot it beneath you. Pull out your paraglider and land. Make sure not to go too far down or Zelda will come after you. At this point, check your map and make any last-minute adjustments until you're in this area. Now shoot another hoverstone in front of you and attach it to the one that you're on. Now you can drop some more hoverstones and build the platform out. I went with a 2x2, but you can go bigger as long as you have the batteries. Now attach a dragon part and attach either 1 big battery or multiple small batteries. I did like 7, but you know, just a lot. Now, double check that you have the dragon part and batteries attached. Once this is complete, you can jump off and glide back to the Demon Dragon. Try to get as far away from your platform so Zelda doesn't hit it. Now you can land for the final hits. Before you do that though, eat the stamina food that you made that has bonus stamina. I also like to look over to the build just to make sure it's still there. Finish off the Demon Dragon and skip the cutscenes. As you begin to fall, do not dive. Just fall at a normal pace. Diving could cause you to get locked next to Zelda and unable to descend anymore. You'll need to look for the dragon part and try to move over top of it. As you get closer, make sure you adjust to land on it. Now that you've landed, you must never do 2 things. You must never jump off the edge of a platform, and you must never press the R button. Pressing R will lock you in the skydive, and jumping off a platform risks locking you in the skydive. It's important to note that you cannot pause in this state, so if you need a second, use the home button. Now, we can only do so much in this state, but you have a little time, so let's practice some movement. Your primary movement option while in the air is going to be the Y button. So jump in place, and then spam the Y button for just a second. This is how we will get places. Now you have 2 options. There's an invisible barrier around the space and you can go up and over it, which is slow and safe, or under it, which is faster but riskier. To go over it, you can stand in place, jump, and spam the Y button to gain height. You will do this until you reach this sky island, pull out your paraglider, and start gliding to this island. To go underneath the invisible box, you'll need to run off the platform. Do not jump. As you are falling, you will see Link get pushed back just a little bit, and then after a few more moments, he will get pushed forward just a little bit. Once you see that, you need to start spamming Y. You need to do this until you are above Hyrule Castle. After you've completed either method, do not press R. Make sure you are always higher than Hyrule Castle. You can use your paraglider to head into the direction of the skydive challenge. You need to be careful because you cannot see your stamina gauge. So once you are heading in the direction of the sky island, press B to put away the paraglider and start tapping Y. It's important not to run out of stamina, so we always have the option to pull out our paraglider if we need. We don't want to press Y while in the paraglider or we will dive attack. If you do it by mistake, just pull out the paraglider again, press B, spam Y. Do not press R. This will take some time. You don't have to spam it super fast, just enough to be above the bottom island. As you get close, do not press R. Paraglide to adjust until you can land in the water. Now as long as you grabbed a small zonite charge, you can talk to the construct and start the dive challenge. This will teleport you up to the top of the island. You'll be in front of the area to dive, but before you start, promise me you will not press the R button. Take your finger off the button. Now you will start this by running off. You will not jump. After running off, you will use your paraglider. You do not need to worry about any of the circles and you do not need to successfully complete the challenge. Just fall straight down into the water. Do not press R. Finish the dialogue and that's it. You are in the first weird scenario. You will still have a limited control of Link, but you can now land on the surface. At this point, you're free to run around the world and check some things out. My tips for this stage though, you can press R, but make sure you do it near enemies so they can knock you back out of it if need be. Do not get near Hyrule Castle or Lookout Landing unless you want to brave the onslaught of blood moons, which you can get out of, but is pretty tedious. Be wary of caves. After you're done messing around here, all you need to do is sell all your fairies or take enough damage to use them all. Now you will need to die. Continue the game, and this puts us in stage 2. You will awkwardly find yourself in the dragon fight again. At this point you can open your map and teleport away while the fight will still continue. In this stage you have all the normal controls back, but Zelda will stop at nothing to get you. There is only one real issue here, and that is these parts of the surface and sky are off limits, as it will automatically trigger a cutscene to put you back in the fight, but you can always teleport away again. My tips for this stage are: fight another boss with a health bar, teleport to the depths. If you have access to a Zuggle overload glitch, once you are overloaded, fly over a void out zone like the one north of the map. When Zelda tries to grab you, you will fall through her and into the void out zone. This will get her to leave you alone until you warp again. After you're done, you can either beat the game or close out the game and load back in to return to normal. I've left out most of what happens in these states because I think you should experience it for yourself. You might even find something we don't know about. If you think I should continue with these types of videos, let me know by subscribing to the channel. And if you have ideas on what you want videos about, feel free to drop it in the comments below. I want to thank my channel members, Catfright, Naz, Petit Frappo, Rowan, CTV, Crescendo, Dance France, D5 for Bees, Taco Sensei, Math Music, Suishi, Planethac, Trevor, Jane Keto, Weirda, and Why You Have to Be Mad. Anyways, thanks for watching.